2 years ago today, it was a normal day throughout our district. Stoner Creek Elementary held their annual Read Me Day to celebrate the birthday of Dr. Seuss. And later that evening, it was the March 2020 regular school board meeting. But when the gavel banged for adjournment,
thank you for being here.
Everything changed. Just a few hours later, a long-track tornado from the west made its way into Wilson County. Packing an EF3 punch, it destroyed the majority of West Wilson Middle and then wiped out Stoner Creek, situated just a few hundred yards behind West Wilson. And when daylight arrived, it was a devastating sight. And immediately after the storm, well, that's when the global pandemic set in, furthering the disruption for not only Stoner Creek and West Wilson, but the entire district. Since then, it's been a long road traveled that has seemingly gone by in the blink of an eye. Through it all, Stoner Creek has never missed a beat with their Read Me Day. They had it last year, and the storybook parade was on full display today with dressed characters everywhere you turned. This morning, Principal Amanda Smith reflected on what her school was like 730 days ago.
Yeah, well, this is one of our most favorite days of the year. That morning 2 years ago, we had a packed house of families in with community members, and then of course our staff and students. So you talk about probably the most people inside of our building than on any given day.
While Read Me Day is filled with so many stories, the storm story from 2 years ago and all that's happened since is one that Principal Smith is well versed in. And with her school growing and new families arriving, she's told this tale many times for those who weren't even around when the storm ripped through just after midnight on March 3rd, 2020.
This week I've done that twice already, so it's almost like I need a little recording message to do that. But that's also exciting to see people coming in and being excited about Wilson County schools. It just sort of is an honor for us to showcase and to talk about the great things we have going on, and I know others across the county feel the same way. It almost just seems like yesterday, and then when I sit back and think about how many days really have passed, and then it really is 2 years, and 2 years is a long time. But you know, sitting there in that day, you just never imagine that you're going to wake up tomorrow and that's going to be your life, and that's what you're going to be going through. So I think it's been a little bit of both in the fact of, in reality, I feel like, man, that just happened. We just lived through all of that. But then you think, okay, those days really do go by fast, and a lot of time has passed. And a lot of good things have come out of it. And we just talked yesterday at our leadership team meeting of how much we've grown and taken and still have in our pocket that we use today. And would we have done those things had we not have gone through what we went through?
Currently housed in a West Wilson wing spared by the storm, well, the Bobcats, they get shuttled over to the gym for lunch and PE each day, and then back to the wing and even temporary portables for classes. Even with a lot of shifting throughout their school day, optimism is growing daily as Stoner Creek's teachers and staff see major progress in the construction of their new home that's lifting up out of the ground from the exact same place it was before.
So we are thrilled with the progress. I mean, on a daily basis, somebody's coming back just pumped up with, it's getting closer. This is a day we've been dreaming of. We're seeing it come to life, and it really is real. So we are enjoying that progress and seeing like, oh, that's where my future room's gonna be, or there's where our art room's gonna be. That's gonna be our library one day. So definitely exciting times, not just for staff, but for students too. And to see the blueprint and the pictures of what's to come, it really does fill our hearts with joy.
It will be approximately 100,000 square feet. And that's not including the current 16,000 square foot gym that will receive relatively minor repairs. The project cost is around $30 million, and it's expected to be completed in early fall of this year. And when it comes to West Wilson, hey, the famous Wildcat Rock is still firmly in place, and soon a new school will be built on the same grounds that it once stood upon. In fact, design plans for reconstruction will be presented to the school board very soon for their approval to get that momentum cranked up for West Wilson to get their rebuild project up and going out of the ground. So we look forward to that. Many of you saw the demolition phase for West Wilson transpire over the course of last summer and into the fall. And all in all, that work went very well. Our district was extremely encouraged by the work that took place and is now complete. So again, the next phase for West Wilson is just getting some plans approved and moving on with the reconstruction phase for their project. We want to say thank you to anyone and everyone who has offered their support over the past 2 years to our district when it comes to Stoner Creek and West Wilson in saying, what can I do to help? And there's been so many ways that so many of you have helped, and we just cannot say thank you enough. Our hearts are overflow with gratitude in so many ways. I know that I've received so many emails and calls of people saying, you know, we'd like to help, how do we do that? And it's just been so encouraging. So on behalf of the district, we just want to say thank you for all that you've done, not only in Wilson County, the incredible communities of Wilson County, but those outside of Wilson County who have also reached out as well. It has just been tremendous. Have a good day, everyone. I'm Bart Barker for Wilson County Schools.